What's up? How is everyone? Hey, Nightmare, and hi, Darkleaf. Hey, Ivy. Hey, a Builder. Hey, Tommy. Working on this again for a little bit. I feel like I have to finish this before we work on anything else. Otherwise, it'll like go into purgatory for like a year, and I'll stop working on it. So I'm like, the grind has to keep going. Phone problems resolved. Nice. Hi, October. Sorry that I didn't stream on Tuesday. I was finishing up making the surveys for the campaign. So I was trying to finish it before stream, and then it ran late. I think I finished it at like 3:30, and I was like, oh, I can't stream anymore. So, but I got the surveys done. The smoke tests are out. So about, I think like 30 people got their surveys already, but I haven't sent them out to the other like 400 people. So I can actually, you guys, I will actually send those out right now while people are coming in. Once I get 80% of people, let me send all surveys. Yes, okay. I just sent out the surveys, so once I get about 80% of people respond to those surveys, I can send the order to the manufacturer. You're still undecided? Well, take your time, take your time. You don't have to do the survey right away. You have plenty of time. I had about 90% of people were ready to get the survey, so I'll send it now, but yeah, you have time. I am not gonna lock the survey for a while. Spruce tip, oh yes, spruce tips on screen. Is my random button working today? No, it is not. No random button for us today. Yeah. Feel free to take your time. If you have any questions. I was actually able to let pre-follower bonus people that I said you'd get a mystery sticker before. So this is my first campaign for Backer Kit, so I had no idea how much customization I could do for certain bonuses. And I had never seen anyone offer options for a pre-follower bonus. I'd only ever seen people offer a single design thing. So I had no idea if that was because people couldn't offer options for bonuses. But when I was actually going through the builder, I wasn't able to actually see the survey builder until the campaign ended. I was able to add that option for you to pick what sticker you want, so. But if you still want to be surprised, there's an option for that as well. What programs do you guys use? So today I'm using Clip Studio EX. It is a paid program. Kirita is one that I do recommend people use that's free. It's an animation program that's a frame by frame. Another option would be, and I haven't tried using it yet. I do want to use it on stream at least once to see how we feel about it. But I bought UmoPin, which was a $20 program. It is, I think, desktop only. It might be on iPad. Hold on, let me double check. UmoPin. UmoPin. It is on Windows and Mac, so it is going to be coming to iPad and Android soon. But it is a new program that you can use, that you can do storyboards, you can do brushes. It looks like it's mostly for animation. But it was only 20 bucks, so I bought it. So we'll have to try it out. I think it would be a very good, it's a one-time purchase. So I'll see how it feels. But again, I think it's only on desktop right now, which is what I am on. Hey, Coscott. Yeah, it's a new program. I'm not sure there is a trial version though, so you can try it for free. I think the only thing about the trial version is you can't save. But I think everything is unlocked, you just can't save. Hold on, let me. It's called Umopin. I have a question about the survey sent out. For some reason, it's showing up as completed. It's not showing up as completed. What is your name on BackerKit? I can double check for you. Let's see, Iago. It's not showing up as completed. Are you just Iago on BackerKit? It's telling me it's not completed. Hold on. Art fight has ended. I think it went on for a couple more days though, right? I managed to complete my mass attack in time. I was looking at a couple of mass attacks. 90 plus characters? Holy crap. That is very impressive. Okay, so what I wanted to do is kind of boil these lines, which means I'm just going to trace over them really quick. Okay. I think I was on 6, yeah. Got hit with burnout. Yeah, I know a lot of people have a hard time revenging all of their attacks that they get. You're definitely not alone. When do you guys usually find out who won? Does anyone really care who won? Yeah, if you're Iago, then it does say that you haven't completed your, it does say that you haven't completed it. I can resend it to you. I'm also kind of new to this. You want me to resend it? See, this is interesting though, because I have the shipping information. It just says your status is not completed. So I'm not exactly sure. It looks like you might just have to... Yeah, I can. Maybe that'll help. Okay, I resent it. It is... When will be charged for shipping? I don't know. So I'm pretty sure that they told me not to charge for shipping until it's closer to the shipping date. So you might not get charged for shipping until like November or October. I'll look into it. Yeah, no problem. It is definitely a learning experience. They give you a lot of information on, like, doing stuff. That's very helpful, but for me, it's not very intuitively laid out, I have noticed. I can't really find the information very easily, so I'm still trying to learn, but it does give me a lot of stuff. Did I participate in Art Fight this year? No, I did not. I've never participated in Art Fight, though mostly just because I feel like I'd be too busy to contribute, and also I feel like I'd be overwhelmed with like the need to revenge everybody, and I don't think I'd be able to fulfill that. So I don't really have any strong personal opinions on them adding in an extra team, although from my friends around the grapevine, they seem to think that adding the third team is why there was like a team that was consistently on top the whole year, the whole month. I added stuff during the survey, but it didn't seem to add it in the total. Let me look. October. Is your name... Oh, you're not. October. I did the survey on my phone. I don't know. October. Yeah, I don't see you. It's Siri. Okay, yes, I see you. It says you've completed your survey. You have 2 mini prints. Okay, so you got so you added a mini print and you have a shipping. So it says that you have a balance due. So that balance might not get through until maybe the shipping gets charged. It has your items. I'll look into it. I'll look into see when everything gets charged. So, yeah, I have an option to charge cards here. It says when you are close to shipping out your rewards, it's time to collect the funds. So, you might not get charged for like add-ons and stuff until that happens. Maybe? I'll look into it. I'll look into it. I was just gonna sign with Nifty-Senpai. Something like that. And then I have an option to sign on the front or the back. Yeah, I'll look up. I know that I just got one of my backer kits that I pledged for. It just shipped and I got a charge sent to me, I think, for shipping, even though that backer was in May, I think. That campaign was in May. So, yeah. But let me make sure that that's all working. Did you put the add-on in during the survey? Storyboarding. Storyboarding takes me like a lot longer than I always assume it will be. For me, I usually kind of start with thumbnailing like certain shots that I know I definitely want to do, and then I kind of like work around that. It kind of helps to block it out into storyboarding what you really want to storyboard, and then kind of like building the puzzle pieces around it. I've been charged even though it's a... Yeah, it says that you've been charged, so that's why it's really weird. Hold on. Let me look again. Yeah. Survey not completed. Well, you haven't been charged the shipping. It says you were charged your pledge amount. And I can't see what you haven't completed. Because it says that you've completed all of the questions. So I'm like confused why it's saying that you haven't completed it. And you've picked your pre-launch stuff and your early bird stuff. So I'm like, what isn't completed? Can I like... Yeah, the address is there. Like, literally everything is there. So I'm, like, confused why it's saying it's not completed. Incorrect address? No, it's the right address. Yeah, I would just, like, go through and, like, submit everything again, and maybe that'll fix it, because I was looking to see if there was a place where I could say, manually say that this has been completed. Start thumbnailing more. Straight ahead. Yeah, so for me, sometimes I'll do both. Like, I'll do some thumbnails of, like, shots that I really have in my brain that I want to get out. But then sometimes when I finally start straight aheading and, like, storyboarding and putting the pieces together, I kind of realize that there are shots that just don't work with what I want, or, like, what I ended up going with, and that I have to fix them for flow. So it's kind of a learning game. It also helps to have somebody to bounce off of, like, get somebody else's eyes on it and, like, have them give a critique, or just like, oh, this was, even if they're not a storyboard artist or they don't really understand, they could just give you the basic, like, oh, I was kind of confused of what was happening, like, in this shot or whatever. And you can be like, okay, I gotta fix that. Make it more understandable. Yeah, I don't understand why BackerKit is doing that, because it looks like, for me, when I look at your information that, like, I have to pack your order, it looks like all your stuff is there. And it looks like you completed the entire survey, so I'm just confused. Mad decision. Well, take your time, Rio. Take your time. Doesn't have to be completed. I just need 80% of people to complete it. Then I can send them out to get made. Because I'm animating, it's a bit longer. Like, you're animating the boards? Sometimes I feel like it's, like, actually easier for me to thumbnail quicker on a piece of paper than, like, kind of freezing up when you open up Photoshop and you're like, oh, I gotta actually board, I guess. Am I making an animation series? I'm just making an animation, not a series. I've been there and done that, and it was hard. Any tips? Animating takes a lot longer than you think it will. There's no easy way to animate. It takes a lot of time. But it's very rewarding. I'd say if you want to start learning animation, I'd start small. I remember when I started learning, or like when I started deciding I wanted to animate, I did a lot of like memes, like animation memes. I did like test lip syncing. I did the ball bouncing. Everyone does the ball bouncing. No, you shouldn't be charged again. I'm refreshing it. Okay, it says that you've completed the survey, and it still only has the shipping balance, so you're good. You're good. The balance did not change. Okay. Oh, that's the leaf. I'm like, what is this blue spot? That's the back of the leaf. Animation memes are fun. They were a little different than what I used. I feel like a lot of animation memes nowadays are kind of more tweened. But like, not to be a boomer, but back in my day, they were more frame by frame. So you could probably look, I'm not gonna lie, like doing like caramel dancing and just like old kind of animation memes really helped a lot. For me, at least. Because a lot of those are frame by frame and you kind of just use the timing that's on that to build your character. So you kind of like have the timing cheated already. So you can kind of like see how it's set up that way. They're kind of just like anime memes, I guess. The new game. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Laying out a story rather than animating? Yeah. I mean, I personally like that as well, Lay. My favorite part of doing, like, animated pipeline is doing the storyboards and bringing it to life. That initial, like, really concept of bringing it to life. This part that I'm doing right now, the part where I'm, like, animating it and actually bringing it to life is my least favorite part of the whole process. BTWs. But yeah, everyone has their strengths and weaknesses. Like, there are people out there that don't like doing that part, Leia, like the part of making the storyboard and scripting. Scripting is very scary to me. I like storyboarding because I'm still building off of, like, a script and stuff. Scripting is very intimidating, though. And it's definitely the part that I think requires the most brain power for me, is pulling the script out. The game does not have a release date. Anybody that's telling you that there's a release date is lying. The game does not have a release date. Join me in Scriptland? No, you can't. You will not get me in there. I feel like you're dragging me in like the Kif episode. Welcome to my mind, welcome to my mind. And I'm like, this is the script mind. It's scary. This sounds like it's from Breath of the Wild. Yes. Hold on, let me look. Yeah, Lucky Clover Gazette. It's from Tears of the Kingdom. But yeah, everyone has their strengths, and that's why it's really exciting to, like, become friends with lots of creative people, because everyone has, like, a section of art that comes easier for them than others. So, like, for me, sometimes the hardest part for me is actually just, like, conceptualizing and, like, nailing down a composition or stuff like that. But for some people, that's the easiest part, is to just, like, get it out of their head really quickly. I don't know, it's fun. I like being friends with people that all have their different strengths. Then you all come together and form Voltron and create, like, awesome things. Even if someone is good at something, it doesn't mean that they're good at it. I'm a little confused. Do you mean like that they like doing it? Because I definitely agree with that. I'm excited too. I was talking to my pin manufacturer and getting like the lowdown on how he wants me to organize like the whole document. So I'm very excited. I'm excited to like put the order in and then be able to like show the progress updates. It took about a month for them to send me progress updates when I got the prototypes done. So we'll see. Is creating stuff together with friends. I like that too. A lot of the times I'll remember like who, especially when I watch like those old Warrior Cat maps and stuff, I'll remember creating stuff with the people that were in the project, and it's like the memories of sitting down and drawing with them is almost more powerful than creating the actual project for me. Like, I'll be like, yeah, I liked working on that part, but it was mainly because I was working on it with these people, you know? Yeah, they'll be on my shop. They will be on my shop. None of them will be exclusive. They will all end up on there. They never said when it's released. Wait, which one are you talking about? They like it. People love to say, oh, well, you're great, you should pursue. Yeah, oh no, I understand. I completely understand, Lay. I've been at the receiving end of that. That was me with art for a long time, actually. People would always be like, oh, you're great at art, that should be your job, and I never wanted to make it my job. I don't even know if I could really... I think the problem, and this is a main problem, not to get all kind of deep and philosophical on a Thursday afternoon, but there was something in me that just never wanted to have art as my main source of income, and I genuinely don't... I couldn't place exactly why that's the case. But I guess a part of me was always worried that if I made it my main source of income, I would lose a core activity that gave me a lot of joy and was a escape. When it was a very social... Yeah. Because you're good at it. Yeah, yeah. I mean... And a lot of the times people don't really understand how it makes you feel. Like, being good at something and really enjoying something is definitely a very, very different, and it's a hard balance that I'm still learning to grapple with. Yeah, I mean, for me, I was always, I guess... Art's a complicated one because I think that, and there are definitely people out there that are not like this, and I honestly think that they're probably more successful in the field than others, because I feel like a lot of artists are their own worst critics. And so I held myself back for opportunities and stuff like that, because I'm like, well, there's going to be somebody else that's applied with me that's going to have just like so much better of art than me. It's like, I don't even... want to protect myself from the fear of even like failing, like getting that, hey, you didn't get in, hey, you didn't get the job. And part of me was always like, it's better to not ever have that email sent to me than to get that email. Even if it means that I'll never get the even better response of, we want you. Like, that fear of failure prevents you from... I don't know. Hard to explain. I see it in a lot of artists, though. But I also see it in not a lot of artists. That's why I'm trying, and it's kind of like a... If I say it enough, I'll start believing it myself, where... just apply. The worst that can happen is that you get denied, which is the worst that can happen if you don't apply. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, but getting the denial email is worse than getting no email at all. It's just constantly grappling with my unhealthy thoughts. As one does. Mad imposter syndrome. And I think that it's important to continually tell people this, Rio. Everyone feels like that. You, not that that makes it not special, but I'm just saying, I think, well, not everybody, but I think that a majority of people, me included, feel that way. And I was asking my sister about this too, because it seems like it's a very common thing in the art field, especially, I feel like, to have an imposter syndrome sort of deal. There aren't that many... So I was like asking my sister, because she's a doctor. She did all these tests. She's licensed. She went to medical school, all this stuff. I asked her, I said, do you ever get imposter syndrome? And she's like, well, first of all, she didn't know what that meant. So I explained to her, I'm like, you feel like you didn't deserve the title or the job that you have, or that everyone around you is actually better than you, and you're just trying to pretend that you're just as good as them, blah, blah, blah. And she just looked at me and she goes, no. So I'm like, is this just a thing that artists have? She's like, no, I'm a doctor. I'm like, okay. It's like, can I have some of that confidence, Sam? Oh my goodness. I'm like, why do artists feel like, is it because we kind of, like, but that's not the case either. Because I was thinking, well, we go through so many, like, peer critiques, and we're constantly, like, when you're in art classes, you're constantly putting your art up against other people's and, like, specifically looking and, like, all this stuff. I'm like, is that kind of lead to artists really critiquing themselves with other people a lot more than, like, doctors? Or, like, it's like, yeah, the peer critique trauma. Is that what it is? I don't know. I mean, for me, I personally feel imposter syndrome. Yeah, completely subject. That's true. And it's like, my sister, she went through like dozens upon dozens of tests to get licensed to be a doctor, right? So she went through all these tests that told her, yes, you're a doctor. So then she's like, no, I'm a doctor. I got my tests. I'm like, well, what's my degree get me? You know? It's like, I don't know. But then it's also like that with language learning. Like, I have a Japanese degree. My art degree, my bachelor's degree isn't even in art, which I think leads to me to have, like, I'm having, like, I'm, like, having a therapy session with you guys. I'm so sorry. But I feel like it's important to understand that people, there are certain things that will never go away, and you just need to learn better ways to handle them, or to have them not hold you back, or just be a little bit healthier in confronting them and getting them over with and stuff like that. Yeah, that's true. But for me, my imposter syndrome comes from the fact that I don't have an art degree. I don't have any credentials to, like, be charging money to get people to buy my art. Like, I didn't go through as many peer critiques as you guys did. Obviously, I did. I did take art classes. I do have an associate's in art, and my minor is in studio art. So I did go through numerous art classes. But my thoughts are, because I can seem as a kid it accepted, but if you stick with, yeah. People expect art to be perfect. Yeah, and that's the thing that you have to deal with when you're selling art. And there's certain things, especially as somebody that primarily has an audience online, that I try to tell people that online, it's so hard to take a single random person that doesn't even know you, aside from this art piece that just showed up on their Twitter timeline like 2 seconds ago. Like, they don't think of you as a human being. They just go, this art sucks. With no, whereas, that's why I try to tell people, like, try to give them the convention or selling or, like, showing art offline, instead of online, because it's so different. People are nicer. Okay, hold on. People don't treat you as a human being behind the screen. Okay, so this is the first shot where her eyebrow kind of raises. We're gonna erase this. I don't know. But yes, a lot of artists are very hard on themselves, and I find that the artists that are not hard on themselves tend to get a bad rap. I don't know how to explain it, but like, artists with the desire to try to one-up other artists. I mean, that's different, though. It's like the exact opposite of imposter syndrome, though. People don't like that either. It's very interesting. I feel like that's why I like Art Fight so much, because I feel like the majority of time Art Fight feels like it's how I wish drawing online felt all the time. Like, Art Fight is purely about just creating something for the joy of it, giving it to somebody just to make somebody else feel happiness. Obviously, I'm an artist that doesn't do a lot of, like, I don't explore a lot of, like, deep topics in my art, and when I do, it's through the lens of a freaking Warrior Cat book series. I mainly like to bring joy with my art, and not everybody. There are people that want to tell bigger stories with their art and change the world with more uncomfortable art and telling more uncomfortable stories than I am, and that's completely fine. I will never be that person. I like to tell uplifting stories that even if I'm telling a story like in Little Pistol of an cat losing their trust in the world, it still ends on a happy note of her regaining her trust in the world. I like ending on a happy, optimistic note. I think it's because for the longest time I couldn't see an optimistic end. So I would just draw it in my art. I don't know, man. I draw cats. Okay. And then she... Okay, so she lowers her guard. Okay. A lot for me is my sight issues, very visual. I feel like you could play that up though, Darkleaf, like... But I understand what you're talking about. I mean... I think that it's... And only if you want to, but... You could tell some really great stories in the lens of somebody... Like... I don't know. I feel like... In your position, you could tell some really awesome stories that... Or like show that... I feel like you don't need that good of sight to draw is my thing. Is like you can see colors, like even like colorblind people, it's very interesting to see like how they it's not like they see the world like they obviously they do see the world differently, but they really don't, you know. I don't know. Also, your art is great, so hey Munch. Thank you. My friend Chris drew it for me. I will promo him. Yeah, there are some stories that only you can tell yourself. I feel like you could tell some stories that that no one else could tell, definitely, for sure. I was watching a video on somebody, I mean, colorblindness does run in my family. I probably do carry the genes for colorblindness, but because my grandpa is colorblind and it travels down your mother's side, and it's my grandpa on my mother's side, so I could technically have the genes for colorblindness running through my veins, but they go on your, what are they, on your Y chromosome or your X? They're on your X chromosome. So if you have 2 X's, then you have a better chance of it not showing up, so that's why it's rarer. Okay. Yeah. I think that it's interesting. I mean, everyone has a story that only they can tell. But I don't think that you should discount yourself from telling that story for any reason, personally. Okay, And then I'm going to do this. This is a little convoluted, but just work with me here. It'll all make sense. Trust the process. I am going to erase the next cell though. That's why relations. 2 X's. Oh my god. Art Fight was great this year. I'm so glad that people had fun. Maybe one day I'll actually sit down and join Art Fight. I do get a little bit of FOMO every year. But at the same time, I kind of collect a bunch of my friends' OCs from Art Fight that I can draw throughout the various times of the year. Yeah. I would just like to be able to revenge attack as many people as possible, so I'd like... And the only thing about it being in July is that that's usually when I'm on vacation. Like, I do a family vacation in July. Like, so there's gonna always be, like, a week where I can't draw. I'd also love to use Art Fight to, like, practice certain things. Like, only attack non-cat characters or something. Like, force myself to have to draw and learn a little bit more. I am drawing on Clip Studio right now. I believe it is on... It is not on the phone. Though. It might be. I know it's on iPad. It's on the tablet. I only did a week. I feel like, I mean, doing a week is fine. I wish you could, like, close attacks. Like, I wish you could, like, be like, I'm not accepting any attacks this week. It can be on iPad, tablet, or computer. Yes, I believe so. I don't think it's on... I don't think it's on phone. My brain is working a little slower today, I'm sorry. Okay, I need to draw it one more time. You can hide your characters? Really? Evil moment. Twirling my mustache evilly. I think it would have been fun to do Art Fight streams. I know a couple of my friends do Art Fight streams. I think I have an Art Fight profile. I'm pretty sure that the only characters on it are Apple and my 2 human OCs, though. So, like, if people wanted to attack me other than Apple, they'd have to draw my humans. Forcing you guys to draw Clark and you. Or I think Shun's the one that's on there. There are a lot of people that do that? Yeah. I've never joined a team, though. I've always just been spectator. I have an art fight only to look at other people's profiles. Okay. Now, what I will do is I want to delete all of these. I want to copy paste these. And then I will play it and see what happens. I think that's fine. What's the blue screen in the back? You mean why I have blue right there? It's just because I have a, I had a layer to make the sketch blue, and when I turn off this layer, it just makes blue. If that's what you mean. All right, let's color this bad boy really quick. Let me clean up the line art a little bit. Any other warrior campaigns you recommend following / supporting? Right now, my friend Dia's campaign is live. If you like villains, let me do a little promo. I think that's the only one that's live right now. Rosebuds is over. Hold on. Yeah, Forest Felines Series 2. It is completely funded already. I will do a little promo. Dia is a mod in here. It is very awesome. This is its 3rd campaign, I think. It's for stuffed animals. They're really cool. I like the soul one. They're all based on like villains. So there's Scourge, Soul, Ashfur, and Mapleshade. Very cool, very cool. I really like the Soul one, personally. But yeah, that's the only one that's live right now. They are very fun. I don't think it has any of the other plushies alive right now, but they're really cute. They're pretty big. They're like 1.5 feet long. They're like huge. 12. Yeah, they're 12. They're like 12 right here, but the tails make them longer. They're big. They're bigger than the itty bitties. if you have the itty bitty warriors. But yes, that one is going to be fun. I will obviously keep you updated on any other fan projects because I love them and I want them all to be backed and make $1 William. But I'll keep an eye out for you guys. Okay. I'm actually going to, I think, exclusion this. Can I do that? Or can I do like a divide? Yeah. Does that work? Guess not. I guess what I should do is this. If I want to erase. A pin campaign for Darktail. I wish you much luck. I have an idea for a pin board to display my warrior cat pins. I might have to make it. Thinking like with cork. Ooh, I could probably embroider something as well. See ya, Coscott. This feels like it's from Danganronpa. Okay, I need to... get that with this. Once I clean up both of these, I'll combine both of these into one folder. I think I can do that, maybe? I'm trying to think of how I'm gonna export this. Whatever, we'll figure it out. It's a problem for later me. Why did I do this? It's okay. So close, yet so far. I feel like... well, Mothlight's actually gonna be just pretty much just as much work to clean up. Who's my favorite cat today? Today, eh? I'll pick Soul today. I think he's funny. Thinking about that plushie of him. I think he'll be my favorite cat today. The ultimate small talk question. Usually, so I feel like on my stream is the only time I get asked that question. It's usually a question that I use to, it is a small talk opener. When I'm at conventions and somebody comes up to my booth and it is a question that you kind of ask. You're like, so do you have a favorite that you're looking for? Anybody that you remember from your childhood? And then I ask and I like casually point them in the direction of Prince with that character. But I feel like on stream is the only time that I like get that question asked to me. Welcome back, Meow. You never get asked that question? I feel like most people don't ask that question. I don't know. I'm sure people ask that question a lot. Do you think it's more rare to have a single favorite cat, or do you think it's rarer to have multiple? Like, do you think most people can answer that question with a single cat? Rendering purgatory. I'm holding your hand. We'll get through it together. Okay. What's the weirdest favorite cat? I've seen a lot of people with some favorites. I've had people like favorite cats, just a random... Somebody commissioned me to draw, and I think I drew the character twice. It was specifically Dovestar from Code of the Clans, but not the Dovestar that has speaking lines. It's the Dovestar that's mentioned to have suggested a code that was not included in the proper Warriors code. It was like an offhanded mention. And this person had used that character to create an entire, like, story about how they suggested the code, why they did it. It was very interesting, actually. I really like that type of using, like, the world building in mentioning there was a cat that was mentioned and you decide to kind of, like, expand upon that single idea that was kind of... I feel like there ain't a background cats that have no lines. Yeah. I mean, Warrior Cats is kind of like, and I remember one of my friends, I think Toon said this, Warrior Cats is kind of like Pokemon in that you'll find somebody, every single character has somebody that has decided that that is their favorite. As somebody that like offers making a button for literally any character in the series, like if you want a button made of it, I can make them. I've made some pretty crazy buttons. Now, sometimes I feel like some people only pick buttons because they maybe look like their IRL cat. But I have indeed made a lot of buttons. Hey, Chaos. Red Willow, Snowtuft, and Petalfur. I feel like those are pretty interesting picks. I really grew to like respect Petalfur as a character, particularly because she was part of the Fourth Apprentice journey, and as somebody that was going to animate that book, I did probably think more about those journey cats than the average fan does. It's cool you're doing a leaf pool map. She's your favorite? That's awesome. It is also the map host, Dreamy. She's a friend. It's her favorite character, too. I'm very excited for the map. It's going to be really cool. I really like it because it covers all of Leaf Pool up to the end of her character arc. And it doesn't just end at Omen of the Stars, which is really fun. So I picked a part that was after Omen of the Stars. Mainly because I have animated Leaf Pool a decent amount of times, and I just like animating parts that I haven't animated before. Not gonna lie, I made Warriors OCs for my IRL cats. I think we all did. I mean, my cat's Apple. And she became Apple Star, so you're not alone. Favorite cat's gotta be Swiftpaw. I feel like Swiftpaw is one of those characters that's kind of... He has a lot of similarities to Needletail for me in that he is a lot more sympathetic in fan content than he is in the books. For me. All of my cats have warriors names. They're like Warrior Clan cats. Like Big Teeth goes home and he's named like, I don't know, Lucas. Autumnfall. I also had a cat that had Autumn in their first name. It never really occurred to me when I was a kid that they don't call Autumn Autumn. They call it Leaffall. I was like, whatever. Okay, I'm almost done cleaning this up. And then we can color it. The coloring won't take that long. Okay, let's color you. So if I group these both together, can I group this as leaf lines? And will I be able to possibly maybe export that group all as one group? We will see, we will see. Now we add another animation folder. We call this leaf color. We pull out, let's pull out the shot 3. Really has that shampoo advert win. Yeah, a little bit. Okay. We will... Oh, I've locked them, so I can't actually access them. Who is my least favorite? You're looking at her. Not Leaf. This one. Evil. Evil. Although, for me, it's like, she's another character. A lot of my least favorite characters, I feel like, have been treated a lot better in the fandom than not. But I just cannot stand Mothflight's writing. She is very hard for me to like. I can't get over, like, the hypocrisy in her writing very well. Okay. Refer to other layers. I never downloaded that brush that Galaxy told me to download to save my life. Many such cases. You're working on Who's Afraid of Little Old Me? Yeah! Once I finish this part, I'm gonna switch over to helper role. I asked Dreamy if I could do that. Where I'll just, like, if somebody needs help with, like, background or something, I can pitch in. I'm really enjoying, like, how the vibe of Who's Afraid of Little Old Me is. It feels very much like an older map where we're all kind of learning together. And we're all just kind of creating something with a lot more creative, like, freedom than I feel like a lot of map calls are nowadays. Hey, Amber. My nursery concept? Oh, yeah, I did do a nursery concept, didn't I? I should continue doing those. Those were really fun. I think I did one for the nursery, Leader's Den, and Apprentice Den. I think I was working on one for the Medicine Cat Den, actually. I don't think I ever posted it. I think that was like the next one I was working on. I'm a Clear Sky apologist. I am. I do understand what... I'm not an apologist in that I think that everything he did was completely okay. I'm an apologist in that, yes, but he did it for the plot, and I love him for it. I'm like, but think about how boring it would have been if he didn't do that. Think about how awesome, like, to have, like, the plot gap of, did he kill Bumble or didn't he? What if we didn't have that? It would have been a little bit less interesting around here. Would anybody buy Maple Shade's maple syrup? I'd try it. At least once. I'd be afraid it'd be, like, laced with antifreeze or something, though. That'd probably not be very good. Wait, I wasn't listening? Having a lot of fun. Yes! Clear Sky rage baited me more than any villain. For me, I I honestly think they do a pretty good job writing how he came to the conclusion that he did. I remember in the first battle, even just like the first couple chapters of him, like when you first get to his point of view and you hear why he thinks the way he is, like a lot of his decisions are coming from a place of fear, in that he grew up in the mountains where he watched a lot of cats die around him, including his younger sister, where he's kind of internalized that was his fault, because when she died because they weren't able to get any food for her, and he has like this very large fear of starvation and watching cats like slowly deteriorate around him because of that, where in that he overcorrects so much that he forces cats away when they're injured, where he's like kind of already, I mean, it's not healthy in any means, but I understand exactly why he's doing what he is doing, and I find that very compelling. That he is one of the few cases in that I feel like a lot of his actions are it's explained very well how he got to that twisted line of thinking, and I very much appreciate that in a character. So that's why I like him. I also really like his relationship with his brother. I'm a sucker for sibling relationships, so I very much enjoy Clear Sky in that he doesn't get a lot of people don't like the later arc of him in the later arcs, because they're like, oh well, he gets a like he gets kind of redeemed, he gets his redemption or whatever, but I try to explain to them, I'm like, he doesn't get a redemption to all cats. He's redeemed in the eyes of most of his family members, which are really the only cats he gives a crap about, other than like the proper Sky Clan cats. He is not redeemed by Tall Shadow, River Star, well, Windstar. And that's why I feel like he honestly also kind of looks down upon River Star and Windstar, because they're not mountain-born cats. I think I don't know, he's just an interesting character. I appreciate him a lot. My hot take rereading Mothlight's Vision is he did nothing wrong except for the scene where Micah dies. Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing, right? Is that once you know the twist... Oh, yeah, Starflower and Clear Sky are, like, the perfect match for each other. I love that line where Thunder is like, well, I wasn't similar enough to her father for her to fall in love with me. I love that line. I'm like, that is a very interesting line. I don't know. But once you know the twist of Mothlight's vision, you realize that he really did nothing, and that the aggressor in Mothlight's vision was always another clan and not Sky Clan. But I don't really blame... There are certain instances in that where I think Windstar is also... she kind of goes from 0 to 100. But then at the same time, you have to realize that she never got a redemption. She never forgave Clear Sky for all the crap that he did. He killed a lot of cats that she grew up with, being a loner in the territories before he arrived. Like in the first battle, he killed... I mean, he's responsible for basically... I mean, you could technically say he's responsible for killing Storm. He's responsible for killing a couple of cats that she grew up with. Like, she kind of finds him responsible for the first battle. So any cat that died in the first battle is also her fault. Is also his fault, technically. So it makes sense why Windstar just, like, hates him. I think the feeling is mutual, too. I don't feel like he has any respect for her whatsoever. He was not there in any of the moments where she gains the respect of the other mountain cats. Because she was only there during moments where he was being horrible. Thinking of Bristlefoss, my friend's on Greystride's Vow, and they're reading, and she's enjoying Bristleroot a lot. Oh no! I wonder how Bristle and Root are gonna get together. I'm so excited for Bristlefoss' feud. Please say psych. Say psych right now. Oh honey, you got a big storm coming. Anyway, thanks for coming to my Clear Sky TED Talk. And read all of the clans. It's a good one. I promise you'll like it. Shadowroo, I'm on board. For sure, 100. She's gonna be devastated. Ugh. I'm trying to think of I have a couple of really interesting ideas for like Ivy Pool's Heart that's more focused on Root and Ivy overcoming what happens in A Light in the Mist. But I need to finish my PMV that has like a whole entire section dedicated to Bristlefrost in it. Wait, you have a seething rage to Jake. Wow. I don't think I've ever met somebody that hated Jake. That's actually a first for me. That's very interesting. I'm sorry to hear that. The PMV? Yeah, it's the Sing of the Moon one. Do I have it on this computer? I feel like we go through this like every 2 months where I'm like, ah, yeah, Sing of the Moon. Sing of the Moon. Do I have the boards? There's a part in the song. Sing of the Moon lyrics. There's a part in the song that says, Sing of the moon as it sometimes gets shy, running from lovers through starry-eyed skies. Morning comes quick, bringing tragic goodbyes, but nothing ever really dies, right? And then the last line is, Bristlefrost, da-da-da. But nothing ever really dies, right? It ends happy. Now that Ivy Pool's Heart is out, I end it a lot more optimistically than I could before. Like, because Jake reminds me of a manipulative friend. No, I haven't released the PMV. You guys want to see it? I feel like I show it all the time. Oh, where is it? Sing of the Moon. Where's my FLA for it? Is it in my downloads? What do I think of Bramblestar? I don't mind him. I enjoy him in the first arc. I really enjoyed him in A Starless Clan, and I really enjoyed him in Changing Skies. And he's not too bad in Bramblestar Storm. He doesn't really hit the archetype that I'm usually looking for in characters that I will latch onto, where like they kind of have a chip on their shoulder of he's constantly comparing himself to father type figures. But I quite like what they ended up doing with his personality. Okay. The song is not on here. So you guys are just gonna have to prepare. Oh, that's not it. You guys are just gonna have to prepare really quick. Okay. So this is a P&B that's focused on all of Warrior Cats. These are my initial boards. Some of them are a little different now. And some of it has been completed, so hold on. So this is the part where it's like, I've gotten all the way up to this part. So this P&V is supposed, it's encompasses the entirety of all of Warrior Cats. The entire history of Warrior Cats, I guess. The books that the scene is based off of are in the bottom right. I can show you guys the final version afterward, but so there's a part of the scene where it's like this is a scene that's focused on Pine Star's Choice and Rowan Claw. This is No Court for Us Jesters, and then it switches from Goosefeather to Shadow Sight, and he's getting his false prophecy. And then it says, but we, no court for us jesters, but we like to sing of the moon as it sometimes gets shy. This is Lion Paw and Heather Paw playing in the tunnels. This is Oakheart and Blue Star, or Blue Fern Oakheart. Gray Stripe and Silverstream. And then it switches into... This is Twig and Violet Kit. And that's Needletail and Alderheart. And then it switches into Fire and Gray Stripe. And this is the part of the lyrics where it says, morning comes quick, bringing tragic goodbyes. And then this is when it goes, and nothing ever really dies. And then that's Bristol Frost. And then it goes right. And then it goes down into her memories that, well, they're not really memories, but her life with Root and her. And then the music crescendos. And I think I'm going to have the next scene be like the deer at the lake in 5 Equals Heart. Yeah. Let me see if I have Sing of the Moon on this computer at all. I know I have it because I've showed you guys the render. It's not this, is it? No, this isn't it. Hold on. Sing of the Moon assets? Hold on. Give me a second. I don't ever remember what I named these things, man. It'd be in my After Effects folder, I think. But then it's like my Sing of the Moon. What's this? It's in my Sing of the Moon folder. Okay, yeah, I started working on rendering out this shot. That's what it is. These are the main boards. Okay, and then I was like, Ivy Pool's Heart, Rising Storm, Starlight Twine. Okay, these were like me thinking. Okay, so this has the music on it. Hold on, hold on. You guys can see it with the music. I don't care if this stream gets copyright claimed. Do I have the music? Stream it. Yeah, okay. Give me a sec. Here you go. There you go. Darktail's in this one. Hold on. Let me see if I can't find the rest of the... Because it's like partially done. I have like a minute done. But where did I freaking put it? Is the thing. Like, where are the renders going? Gonna be like MP4s. Hold on, let me look at my whole hard drive for MP4s. No. It'll have a nice crescendo. Yeah, this part has Darktail. This part's done. You can see this if you go to my art blog. You can see that. Not me working on this since 2022, by the way. That's what it looks like. It's really not here, is it? Where did it go? All the freaking Starklands Chosen shots are showing up. I can't remember where I sent this. Do you guys ever like... I'm really good at naming files. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really good at naming files. For the most part. Except for when it matters, apparently. Yeah, that's Roach. I think I changed him a little bit. Okay, for real this time. Where is this stupid file? Don't you guys just love my beautiful streams? They're just set up amazingly. Okay, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Okay. This goes up until... So this is like the intro. This is not the one, though, because it doesn't have the watermark. This one is from 2025 November. This is the last time I worked on it. Okay, this does have a little bit more in it. Okay, here we go. Are you guys ready?
goes inside. They know from the start that every star must die. It seems too convenient to lose track of time. But now that you're gone, will my orbit unwind?
Now, I have more of it done. I exported it at a different time. Where did it go? I literally have more of it done. And it'll be like at the same. It's gonna be like up here. Shot 15.
Northern wind blew us into the street.
But then I have more of it done, obviously. I have like the shots that happen afterward. So I can't even, but I haven't freaking thrown them into After Effects to, you know, like struggle around with, you know? Stupid. I need to work on it, like bad. But, you know, you just get to a point where I have too much stuff that I need to work on all at once. Hold on, I'm turning down the music again. But anyway, were those quotes from the books? Yeah, I think so. Okay, hold on. Yeah, they're all, these are all quotes from prophecies from Dawn of the Clans. So, unite or die. This is the Blazing Star prophecy right there. This is the Sun Trail prophecy. This is the prophecy that Grey Wing receives right before the first battle of his... It's kind of like helping him gain the confidence to become an interim leader in between Tall Shadow and Thunder. And then this is the omen up here. This is the omen that Pebbleheart gets before the battle. I would like to include every prophecy as a illustration, but I'm probably not going to be able to. Like this right here, this illustration right here is Tigerheart's the prophecy of the shadow of the sun swallowing Rowan Claw. This is a shot from the PNV. This is like the false prophecy that Shadowsight receives. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. There's a lot of prophecies. There's a lot more prophecies than you think there are. At least for me. Anyway, maybe one day I'll actually finish Sing of the Moon. And it won't just be like a fever dream. But today is not the day. When you're not like, well, it's not just that. So this is the thing, right? I have energy levels for every single aspect of production slash like creating an animation, right? Like right now, my entire energy levels for actually like animating is going to this part. I have other projects that are taking up all of my energy to board right now, if that makes sense. The thing about this thing in the moon is I need to board the rest of it. And whenever I sit down to board, I'm like working on something different. I have to be a little vague. The only thing that I have unlimited bounds of energy for is creating backgrounds. I feel like I could create backgrounds until the end of my days. And designing cats. Designing warrior cats specifically. But one day I will finish it, yes. I don't not finish things. It might take me a few years. I feel like the only thing I've never finished, and it still haunts me to this day, is Omen of the Stars. But at the end of the day, how viable was it that it was actually going to get finished? Just give me some messy animation frames and let me make them less messy. Yeah, I know. But it still haunts me to this day that I was not able to finish that. Usually it gets to a point where I'm like, I need to finish this because otherwise what am I gonna do? Post it unfinished? That's what I had to do with Omen of the Stars, and I hated it. Trust me, when you ask me, when is this gonna get finished? No one wants to see it finished more than me. I got about, like, the first act done of, the episode. I think. Why did I choose to animate Omen of the Stars? You're not gonna believe this. The story is, I don't think that, unless you were there, you can't really believe this story. So back in the old days of the Warrior Cats fandoms, again, sorry, gonna sound like a Warriors boomer. I unfortunately am a Warriors boomer, and I will never escape the allegations. But back in the early days of the fandom, we did not do multi-animator projects. Everybody did their own thing. Everybody was making their own animations. Everybody, specifically, we were obsessed collectively in animating the books. SSS Warrior Cats was not the first ones to really animate the books. I personally was inspired to start animating the books because of SSS Warrior Cats, but Alley Cat and Nia's like Warriors of the Forest was before. So we were a smaller community. We were on Skype. And I'm talking, this is like back in 2009. Like 2009, 2008. So it's crazy to say, but over 15 years ago. So we were all obsessed with animating the books. There was kind of an unspoken rule that you posted an opening for something, and that was like you plopping down your land claim. Think of like the Oklahoma, the land rush. You stake your claim on a book by posting an opening, posting maybe a test, posting the prologue, posting a voice acting audition thingy, and unspoken rule that you were the only one that was allowed to animate that. It was kind of our way of separating the load of animating the entire series. We were all friends, and we were all kind of helping each other, but at the same time, you know. Anyway, so back to why I chose Omen of the Stars. If you'll believe it, by the time I joined, all of the books were already being animated. I would look up a book, I'd be like, Warrior Cat's Fire and Ice animation, and I would see, oh, Cool Cat in the Hat is animating... No, sorry, I think Fluffy Lovey was animating Fire and Ice, and Cool Cat in the Hat was animating Forest of Secrets. And then my friend, like, Swifty, I think, was doing Rising Storm. I don't remember who was doing Dangerous Path, and I don't remember who was doing Darkest Hour, so don't ask me. So I was looking up all of them, and all of them had been taken. Literally all of them have been taken. But it just so happened that Omen of the Stars was about to come out. And no one had staked claim on Omen of the Stars yet. That was my in. I'm like, I'm staking claim on this book. I decided I was going to animate it before it even released. And yeah, that's the story. That's literally the story. There's no reason. It's not like I liked the book or anything. How did I get voice actors? You posted... So... You guys are making me feel very... Like, I'm explaining things to you that I don't know if you guys realized, like, that's how YouTube worked. So back in the day, YouTube had video responses. Kind of like a comments, but you could, like, do a video response. So what you would do is you would post a voice acting thingy. People would do video responses to your voice acting call of, like, them applying for the characters. And then you would comment and be like, I like you. I almost feel like either... I feel like you asked for their email and you emailed your lines to people. No direction. You just give them their lines, they read them, and sometimes you'll get like a couple of takes, and then you just pick the takes. There was no conversation in between voice actors. No nothing. Would I ever animate Dawn of the Clans? Honestly, I would. You want to know who stuck claim on Dawn of the Clans, though? At least the first episode, or the first book, was Kaidog Ryu, the person that did Mr. Bright Sky. Mr. Bright Side. Sorry. I remember she posted, like, an opening for the Sun Trail. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I have thought a little bit too hard and a little bit too seriously about creating a fan comic of Dawn of the Clans. In, like, the wee hours of the night where I suddenly have, like, an unbound, limitless energy to draw all of a sudden. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes you just have, like, delusions of grandeur at the middle of the night. I'm sure you guys can relate. But yes, there. That's how you got voice actors. I specifically remember getting like waves sent to me via an email after I picked somebody. I did work on my map part for 3 hours last evening. That's how I feel when I'm like sit down to do an animation stream for you guys. I'm like, I'll probably only work for like an hour and a half, and then I kind of like end up going a little bit longer than expected. What's the square on Leaf Pool's ear? Confused. You mean this? That's her little, it's a little piece of her hair. Okay. 4 more frames. Yes, I have finished the designs. Oh yeah, you guys want to see what I've been working on as warm-ups for like the last week? Oh goodness gracious. I don't think you guys are ready for this. You guys are gonna just like... I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm gonna be real with you. But I am. Hold on one second. It's like 80 degrees in this room. I'm gonna turn on the AC really quick. Okay. Working on map parts only for a little bit inevitably turns me into 2 to 5 hours of frustration. Yeah, that's the other thing about Warrior Cat maps, is that I'm like, oh, it'll only take me a little bit of time, and then it takes me like 3 times as much time as I pretended I wasn't going to do. Okay, you guys, I don't know if you're ready for this. So, in my free time, I have been working on a little bit of something. Oh, why is the... There we go. I have been visiting Code of the Clans cats. No one asked for this. Absolutely no one asked for this. No one wanted me to do this. I decided I was gonna do it. I am trying to marry the 2 designs, the Vicky fan description and my own description, into a cohesive unit. I have done a decent amount of them. I've done Rye Whisker and Cloudberry. I've done Amber Star and Thistletail. Thistletail is a lot different. That's what they used to, oh wait, you guys can't see it because, hold on one second. Let me switch you guys over to my art program capture. There we go. Yes. Ember Star I actually made look more like the Ember Star from, the Ember Star from Star. Can you show yourself? So I just married the two designs. Some of them are just recreation. A lot of them are, I am just kind of like reusing the same design. Here's Hawkfur 26. This is 6 years difference, by the way. I added a cool little hawk silhouette to his chest. Technically not Nightmare, but I think that they are. I think that they were intended to be the same cat, so I'm just gonna, you know, give them the same cat. Next is Duststar went over. I think Duststar went over the biggest difference. I made him a tunneler, and he got hit by a rabbit claw. Made him a tunneler. He was described as a big burly cat by Vicky, so I was like, well, if he's Wind Clan and he's big and burly, then he's probably a tunneler. Stone Star is also described as being very big and burly, so I updated him. I guess they're both tunnelers, right? Probably. And then I did Hollystar. Hollystar does have a slightly different description, so I did marry the two designs. So here she is. She is described to have big ginger patches on her face. So I've added the ginger patches. I did keep her eye color though. She's kind of serving. And I think she needs a girlfriend. But I haven't decided who her girlfriend's gonna be yet. But yes, I just married. Brindlestar, maybe. Brindlestar is gonna have to go through pretty extensive. Birchstar is next. Birchstar is also gonna have to go through an extensive redesign. I made Birchstar a girl here, and I might keep her as a girl. Vicky's description of Birchstar is a guy, but in the actual text, Birchstar, I think in the first code, they mention that they are a guy, a Tom, and then in the second code, it's mentioned that it's a she-cat. So I think I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make her a girl, because otherwise it's gonna be kind of like all the other leaders are boys, and I'm just like, Hollystar needs another girl boss with her. I'm just going through, so this is my Code of the Clans copy. This is the file that I use to draw every single Code of the Clans cats, and they're in like kind of alphabetical order. So I'm just kind of going up the list. So I got to Hollystar. So next on my docket is Birchstar, and then I'll do Brindle, Mud, Lake Storm, Rain Splash. So yeah, these all have all the Code of the Clans cats in them. Lilyfur was the last one I drew. Red Scar is right here. Yeah, I'm interested on how I'm going to do Aspen Tail. It'll be interesting to see. And there's Dark Star again. Tail. There are some pretty crazy... There's some pretty crazy poses in here. Also, I did Badger Fang during Code of the Clans, apparently. He's in here. Slate and Speckle. People Whisker. Yeah, I mean, I should be posting them now. I'm just being lazy. I love this Dark Star though. I don't know if I'll switch this one. I love this one. This is a, I don't know, I cooked. I might like update the anatomy right here a little bit. Like I could definitely smooth it out, but this is definitely like the design that I'm the most satisfied with Code of the Clans. I can say it. I really like just his shapes. Badger Fang, I want to redraw that picture. I've been wanting to redraw that picture for years. Ever since I drew it, basically. Apparently I drew... Now, this is an interesting thing, because why is Lilyfur and Kinktail in here? I must have had... I don't think they're all in here. Because... Where's, like, Moss Heart and stuff? I think I have another file. I think I have 2 Code of the Clans files. Bald, 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 bald. No, I didn't post the Ragged Star. I don't... Y'all, I need a day where you guys just force me to post things. I'm bad. Yeah, I never posted this. I never posted this. I did these on stream. He needs... Pikepaw needs the other tuff on the side of his cheek. So does Primrose. Doing art tomorrow? Yeah. I gotta go out and do errands, but I usually do those in the morning, so... Are there any other files I should know about? Meow. You guys ever just like look at your art and be like, yep, I should probably finish that one day? Absolutely me with the design. Anyway, I have so much stuff. You guys, I wish I could show you what I work on a lot of the time, but I can't. It makes me sad. I gotta finish the Golden Paw redesign. I know. I need to work on my resume. I'm not gonna lie. This is a really good soundtrack for Golden Paw. Go back to this? Yeah. I have other parts. I have, like, so much things. This is the thing, right? Like I said, I wish I was, like, 50 people. I wish I could be like, all right, I'm working on all this. Okay. We're going back to the map part, though. I need to finish at least Leaf Star or Leaf Pool today. If I don't finish Leaf Pool today, I'm gonna be extremely disappointed in myself. I'm not making my pizza until I finish Leaf Pool, basically. Well, this is the other thing too, right? I'm like, oh, I have so many. I started thinking about it, right? So I did the design challenge back in 2020 and the first half of 2021. It took me 16 months. So almost exactly a year and a half, I think. And I sit here and I'm like, it's 2026 now. A lot of those designs are over 5 years, 6 years old. I'm sitting here like, kind of like that SpongeBob meme. You want to see me run to the volcano? You want to see me do it again? There's something broken in my brain. For sure, 100%. Hey, Lemon. Exhausted workday? Well, you can chill with us for a while. I will probably, let's see, probably end stream in about 30-ish minutes. I think I'll end stream at 5. That'll give me enough time to make my pizza and eat at a reasonable hour. Looking up the Code of the Clans designs. Yeah. So technically speaking, a lot of the Code of the Clans cats have descriptions by Vicky that I didn't know existed when I was drawing them. Because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't go down into the trivia of every single Code of the Clans cats and look at the fan or the author generated description, basically. Yeah, you can send out a screenshot. Send out a screenshot of my cleaned up frame. Yes. It's not a mobile game. That's an okay. Like I said, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything about at all. I spent the entire morning trying to get as much information as possible out of this game. Who are the publishers? Who are the people that are creating the game? What's going to be the average cost of this game? How are their other games rated? What demographic are they trying to push? What platforms are they trying to push? It's not being released on mobile. Yet it looks like it's almost an entire clone of the Roblox game, which 80% of, I would argue probably more than 80% of the players of Warrior Cats Roblox are playing on mobile. They're releasing it exclusively on desktop and consoles. Strange choice for a demographic that they're probably trying to hit. Where in the price flooring for even having a console nowadays is something that a lot of people don't have, especially younger people. I was trying to figure out, so I don't know if they're using AI. I did not hear anybody talking about that. I personally wouldn't be surprised if there was a lot of AI stuff. I don't think any of the other games from the company have disclosed that they use AI. The show uses AI, yes. That was completely disclosed, that they were using AI in pre-production and probably will be using it in production. It doesn't technically have a price yet, but just like the way that they're deciding to release it is pretty alienating to a core demographic of Warriors fans, I feel. So that's weird. From my initial research and from some of my friends' initial research, I would not be surprised if this game was going to be retailed at about $50. Insane. When it has almost similar graphics to the Roblox game, which is completely free to play. The character customization seems very weak compared to the Roblox game. From what they sent us, which we're not even sure if those are in-engine screenshots, by the way. Like, we don't know if those are rendered out of engine. Steam requires AI disclosure. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying any... There is no release date for it yet, and there is no price tag for it yet. So both... Everywhere that the company would have put the game up does not have a release date. So anyone that's telling you what the release date is, they're lying. Some online stores where you pre-order games put a release date when they set up the page. So don't believe them unless it's on the Steam page or it's on their actual website. The other games developed by this company are not good. They all had either mixed reviews or negative reviews on Steam. I just don't understand what they're trying to do with the game, personally. I would not be surprised. I was trying to figure out... I went on this whole entire deep dive this morning trying to figure out if they were asset flipping, because the moon pool specifically is what I was looking at, because it was so generic and you could see the individual rocks that they were placing and they were like copy pasting and stuff like that. So I went on this whole entire like Unity dive this morning trying to figure out if I could find the exact assets they were flipping to create these environments. No. There's a little tiny bug in my brain that wants to like shoot out an email to Kulabai again to see if I can't get like an early release copy to be like, hey, I can play this on stream for free. Maybe. I ain't paying $50 for it though. That's for darn sure. Anyway, like I said, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. I reserve judgment, but I am not... holding my breath. Yeah, they're releasing it almost exclusively for, like, hardcore gamers, I would say. Nowadays, it's really only, like, dedicated gaming people that have consoles. I mean, Steam and... If they're developing it for the Switch still, then it's probably been in development for a while as well. Maybe not, I don't know. Well, that was my initial thought, was that it's just going to be like the new Prophecy Quest game, but like 3D. Because they were like, oh, we're going to have fan favorite characters. And I was like, okay, well, first of all, you have 4 clans you can be a part of, so... But then you don't have anyone from River Clan in your little, like, promo. You have 3 cats that are from the first arc, and then you have Ivy Pool. So... the gang's all here, I guess. At first I was like, okay, well, maybe it's gonna be like the journey quest thing from the forest to the lake, but it's like 3D. I don't want to be surprised. I don't think it's gonna have voice acting. It's just gonna be not quality. Watch it be $80. The most expensive game from them is $60. And it is a licensed game. I believe it's like a Looney Tunes licensed game. The Avatar game that the company licensed is $50. So... But there is not a price yet. But I really wouldn't be surprised if they have a price that's over $40. Like, at all. Us normal folk don't own no Xboxes. Well, the thing is I honestly think that the... So, if you had me rate the art styles, is what I'm saying. If you had me rate the art styles, Warrior Cats games has never looked better than... And I know this isn't a hugely high bar, but the Warrior Cats Lake Edition... or Lake Territories, or whatever they're calling. I think that that's where the cat models look the best. This one's probably right here. I don't remember what it's called. Legends of the Clans or something. I don't remember. Forest of the Clans. Clans of the Forest. But it looks like they were given the Ultimate Edition art style to, like, recreate. Anyway, that's what I have to say about the game. I don't know. Big old shrug. I hate to be a doomer, as you guys know. But it doesn't look like something that's worth what they're probably gonna charge for it. Okay, I'm looking at your thing now, Amber. Okay. Sky Watcher. I don't think he's very animation friendly, is he? Yeah. I feel like the only thing... no, I feel like his cheeks. Why'd I make him lying down? Wait, so what do you want me to look at? Hold on. Super off anywhere. The only thing is, I think his... Okay, you're simplifying his fur. I was gonna say his cheeks seem like they're a little bit too smooth. Like, I feel like I made his cheeks specifically, like, crazy. But no, he looks right. Oh, the anatomy? No, I think it looks fine. I like that paw a lot. His fuzzy paw. You got orbs. Thank you, Discord. It looks like the Roblox game. But also, it looks like it has less customization than the Roblox game. I don't know how to explain it, but I was like... Because I, like, went through all of the, Hold on. We're... Against my better judgment, we're gonna watch the video. This is what I'm talking about. First of all, this is... Okay, yeah, whatever. Consoles and PC, that's just a weird choice. This is what I was looking at, though. So they're doing the create your own cat, right? And I paused right here, because I wanted to see what the character creation would be like. This is a very bare bones character creator. In fact, from what I've seen on the Roblox game, I feel like the Roblox game has more character customization than this. From what it's been set up as, there's a fur color. I think that there's only 3 choices. So you have the fur color. You can only have 3 colors on your cat. The fur color, which is like the orange right here. The pattern, which is the tabby stripes, and that's the black right here. The markings, which is this under thing, because you see the markings on this one. This is what the markings look like. So it's like the spotting or the underneath, blah, 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 blah. You can pick one of those. So there's only 3 colors. There's only so much. That's why all of these cats look so, because look, 1, 2, and then a 3. 1, 2, and then like the spot is like this gray. So you can only customize it like 3 times. Any cat that looks slightly different is like a special model. Like this is Brightheart, and this is Cloudtail right here. I'm assuming. But then also this one, this is weird too. Look at this. ThunderClan's the biggest model. And then RiverClan's slightly smaller and thinner. And then WindClan shows up, smaller, which is fine. This is like what WindClan would be. But then watch ShadowClan. Why is ShadowClan even freaking smaller and wirier? What is this? Why is ShadowClan smaller than WindClan? It's weird, it's not? It's weird. But then there's also, like, this cat has curled ears, but I didn't see that as a customization. There's an eye color and a separate eye color. Then what's this sorting right here? I don't know what this sorting is. This game is going to be horribly optimized. If you look on the Steam page, it's suggesting that you have 16 gigs of RAM to play this game. Insane. It just looks ugly. This is the funniest screenshot, by the way. Yeah, the naming is weird. The naming kind of pisses me off because so you pick your prefix and you pick your suffix. Why are these not in alphabetical order? Hello? What kind of order is this? And they did the thing that I freaking hate. They added suffixes that aren't even in the books. Dash, really? Patch, really? Can we stop? There's so many freaking suffixes. And you're gonna pick those. The order is vibes. No. I was trying to figure out if these were all asset flipped from the Unity store. I think this is supposed to be the moon pool, which is really weird if this is supposed to be the moon pool, because then they're also like acting like this is like 4 trees or something. I don't freaking know, man. Then all of a sudden they're in like a campground. Like, hello? Why are we in a campground all of a sudden? This is ugly. Why is the snake like regular size for a cat, but then the dogs are like mini? Look how small these dogs are. We don't even know if these are in-engine screenshots. This could not be gameplay from the engine. I mean, it could be. I mean, it's pretty ugly. But then this is also like the best that they could do. This is the other thing for a Warrior Cats game. All of these cats are gonna have the same exact moveset. They're cats. You can't, they're not going the SSS style route where like they all have kind of, White Storm has the ability to like speed up the whole party or something, or Longtail has long range AoE attacks with his tail or whatever. They're all freaking cats. Every single time you see them fight, they just scratch. They're just scratching. This is gonna be like the worst RPG ever. You're gonna have a party of, also like the snakes like throw mushrooms, I guess. Raid Shadow, a terrible game. Honestly. And then it's like, these are the best screenshots that you could do. Why is Tawny Pelt the bus driver? Is Tawny Pelt really that popular of a character that she's like in everything that they ever post nowadays? Ay, ay, ay. Anyway. And then they're like, oh, well, in each clan, you'll have 4 separate stories, 1 for each clan. And I'm like, there's no way that these stories aren't AI generated. It's just like, you think I'm gonna, that implies that you think I'm gonna love the game enough to play through 1 clan and then sit down and play it 3 more times for every single other clan for slightly different story? Be so for real. Anyway. I'm just like tampering my expectations. It's for 2026 games and for PCs. It doesn't look good graphic. It doesn't look good for like, they're gonna be charging like over $40 for it. It looks like a free-to-play mobile game, which is what I thought that they were going to announce. I probably will only play it if they specifically give it to me for free. Like Plant of the Forest. No, no, no. It can't be like that because it's being worked on with Kulabai. I'll stick to Clangen, thanks. You guys, if you want a Warrior Cats RPG, please play Wildwood. Please play Cattails. Okay, I'm gonna draw a frame of moth. Moth, flight. I'll just type moth hair. That's not how you spell hair. That's how you spell the rabbit. The sorting means... Oh, you think the sorting means, like, that's what clan you're gonna be put into? Honestly, maybe. This is me looking at any sort of, like, Warrior Cats official news. Right there. Squinting really hard. I'm really impressed with your ability to get angry at them so quickly. I'm not angry, I'm just... I'm trying to think. I am baffled at the ability of the people that hold the Warrior Cats IP to completely fumble the bag on anything that doesn't start out as a fan idea. And I'm baffled that they continually decide to sell rights to these companies to create slop, basically, to sell to people. And that people don't seem to care. I'm not surprised. But, like, for me, when they were like, oh, so for the longest time, I keep up to date with Kulabai's, Kulabai is a publicly traded company, so they have to do, like, quarterly reviews and stuff like that, or, like, quarterly meetings with their shareholders. And they've been teasing that there's like a Warrior Cats game happening for a long time. And I always assumed it was going to be a gacha game on mobile, kind of predatory, as all of them are. They would make people pool to get their favorite cats. It'd have like the most minimal turn-based crap possible, blah 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 blah. So when they announced that it's gonna come out on not mobile, it's gonna be a single player it's like that I would have... It's not even, like, the smartest move if you're just thinking from a completely, like, money perspective, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. I'm just completely baffled by how they managed to fumble so much of their IP. I don't know how to explain it. I feel like I get more frustrated at watching people continually be excited for products that, in my opinion, are low quality. I'm like, I don't know. This is true, Ibo. This is true. I guess for me, it's also so when I stream, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm not gonna lie. I was debating whether I was gonna stream today or not because I knew we'd have to talk about the mobile game. And sometimes being forced to constantly comment on what I think are kind of like poor decision makings or like pandering or like companies doing the bare minimum / money grabbing techniques day in and day out is very tiring. It leaves you a little jaded. I feel like if I wasn't constantly streaming and stuff, I wouldn't be as like... I mean, at the end of the day, when you guys see me stream and talk about something, I'm probably thinking about it more than I think about it usually, I guess. I guess for me, I know that the game is gonna come out, and then it's like I'm gonna have to talk about it for like the next 3 years, and I'm just like, ugh. And I like being an optimistic person, but it's hard when everything that they come out with for Warrior Cats related is something that you don't really agree on. I don't agree on the Bonkers toys being like blind boxes, which I found out they didn't even release the full series 2 all at once, and like the mystery designs are not even included in the boxes right now to be released at a later date, which it's just like I can't even be optimistic about it. It's just it's weird to see them bungling the stuff so much. I think that's good. Oh no, she needs her spots. Hey, princess. I don't know. But yeah, I liked the... Well, the thing I liked about the minis were that they were created by somebody. They were designed by a fan. With, like, the care that a fan can put into designing them. Alrighty. I think that's gonna be it for me today, though. Not because I'm like... But because I said I was gonna stop at 5. Let me, play it. I will be back on, sometime. Probably Tuesday. I think I'll be back on Tuesday, even though I told you guys I wouldn't. I should probably open up commissions again for Sunday streams, but I'm lazy. The minis are on sale right now. Yeah, they've been on sale for a while. I don't think that they've been... Yeah, they've been on sale for a while, the minifigures. But yes, I will be back, I think, on Tuesday. Let me know. Trying to empty warehouse stock. That's what I'm thinking. But I'm gonna go make some pizza. I think you guys should go eat something as well if you haven't eaten anything. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. We are going to finish this part. I promise we're gonna finish this part. We are so close. I can almost taste it. So, one day. But until then, I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.